Hello everybody, my name is Nootmad, and welcome back to episode 16 of my Ultimate Moze Guide series. Today, we are continuing the mini-series where I give the best legendary weapons from each manufacturer, just to give you all an idea of what weapons to keep an eye out for from each manufacturer. So, in this installment, we'll be going over Tediore weapons, which are my personal favourite by the way. And so yeah, I also want to point out that I've actually started streaming on Twitch, so if you're keen on joining in and hanging out while we work on new builds, challenge runs, and just meme around in the takedowns in general, I'll be putting down the link in the pinned comment down below. And as always, if you guys enjoy the video, do consider subscribing, as I got more builds and guides coming out every week. Cool? Cool. Now, that's out of the way, let's just get straight into the video. So, I think the pistols from the Tediore manufacturer are a good place to start, and for the sake of getting my favourite weapon out of the way, we'll just start with the Gunerang. But just before we get further into this, I just want to make sure you guys are aware that Tediore reloads count as grenades, and can therefore scale with any grenade damage buffs you apply. Now, this makes Tediore weapons really good on Moze specifically, due to her skills and gear that synergize with the grenade-based playstyle. The skill, Pull the Holy Pin, allows grenades to crit, and Vampire allows grenades to heal Moze, and the Mind Super class mod gives Moze the chance to create a micronade upon doing a critical hit. Now, how does this all tie in, and what does this mean for Tediore Moze? Basically means that Tediore reloads can not only heal Moze, but also crit, which means that it can proc Mind Sweeper, which means a lot of damage. It's kind of absurd really, but I digress. That's the underlying synergy with Tediore and Moze, and with that out of the way, let's just go straight back to the weapons. So, back to the Gunerang. It's a Tediore pistol, that drops from the Inner Turret from Floodmore Basin on Eden 6, and is an absolute powerhouse with the right build. And stay tuned to the channel by the way, because I'm going to be having a level 65 build coming out for this soon. It combines a decently high base damage with the potential to roll any element, and with the properly spec'd chucking build, this pistol absolutely decimates enemies, as you can see in the gameplay in the background. The anoint I recommend is a 390 anoint, and I highly recommend getting it in the radiation element for their sweet blood explosion chains once you nuke an irradiated enemy cluster. Bear in mind that just like its namesake, if the Gunerang makes 3 bounces without hitting an enemy, it will fly right back into your hands and explode, and with the amount of splash damage this Moze can dish out, it's almost a guaranteed ticket straight to fight for your life. I sure hope you got a dodgeball. Now, we should then swiftly move to the Gunerang's distant cousin, the Bangarang. You can get one from from Thunk in Conrad's Hold on Pandora, and much like the Gunerang, synergizes perfectly with their chucking build. The Bangarang elevates what the Gunerang does, but forsakes its tracking ability that the Gunerang has for the ability to spit out bullets as the reloaded projectile flies around. These bullets have the potential to crit as they are counted as actual bullets, and can therefore proc your Mind Sweeper class mod effect, creating the chance for some absolutely crazy damage. Much like the Gunerang, I recommend the 390 anoint and the radiation element. Now, moving on from the pistols, we get to the shotguns. And in first place, we have the Anarchy shotgun. Now, I know, the Anarchy shotgun is just a Tediore shotgun by name alone. And by that, I mean you don't need to reload to get its damage, just much unlike the Gunerang and the Bangarang. What the Anarchy's special ability is that it stacks damage after each kill, but resets this damage if you preemptively reload. I.e., what does that mean? You want to deplete your magazine completely before reloading. And lo and behold, what is our favourite gunner's thing to not do? That's right, reload. This means that Moze can very easily sustain some solid damage from this gun without accidentally reloading too early. Paired with a Mind Sweeper class mod, you can do some absolute work with this weapon. You can get one for the low price of a bullet to the head from our dear friend Kukua Jack in Negel Nashai. The recommended anoint would be 390, I bet you're noticing a pattern here, and honestly, the kinetic variant works perfectly fine. And now, rounding up the list, we have the Brightside. It's a DLC 3 shotgun that drops from the Bronsons in the Blast Plains, and it's a very interesting weapon. What the Brightside does is upon reloading, it throws the gun directly in front of you, much like a javelin, where it then explodes and splits into 4 other Brightsides that shoot bullets for a few seconds. These fired projectiles from this gun count as actual bullets, much like the Bangarang, and as such, can proc Mind Sweeper micronades. Do keep in mind that the initial explosion where the Brightside splits into other Brightsides can proc Torgue Promotion, which is Moze's skill that has a chance to double splash damage radius, and as a result can down you, so be wary of that. But don't let that stop you though. The Brightside is definitely on the brighter side of legendary weapons, see what I did there, and I highly recommend trying one out in the 390 variant. And unfortunately, that's it for the Tediore weapons in this video. The SMGs are honestly quite disappointing, and I don't really want to tell you guys to go farm for one unless they buff it in the future, and if they do, I'll make sure to make a video on it. But for now, the legendary Tediore SMGs aren't that great in my opinion, but of course, if you guys found a way to make them work, I'm always keen to learn, so do let me know in the comments below. But aside from that, I just want to share my personal thoughts on what I thought were the best Tediore weapons for Moze currently in the game. I hope you guys found this video informative and enjoyable. As always, if you have any questions, be sure to ask in the comments below. And yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for watching, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!